I recently read the book The 4 Disciplines of Execution by Covey, Chris McChesney, and Jim Huling. Everyone has good ideas, but what's rare is the ability to execute on those ideas. A good idea without execution is worthless. Authors Sean, Chris, and Jim surveyed over 200,000 business leaders from around the world to understand why they routinely failed to execute on their good ideas and important goals. They found that leaders and teams who routinely fail to execute on their good ideas are completely consumed by what they call the whirlwind. The whirlwind is the chaos of day-to-day life. It's the reason you get to the end of the week and wonder, wow, I was busy all week, but I don't think I accomplished a damn thing. It's the endless stream of incoming messages. It's the problems that show up unexpectedly that you need to address. Everything in the whirlwind seems urgent. And when everything seems urgent, those important but less urgent ideas get forgotten and left behind. The only way to reliably execute your good ideas and important goals is to have a system of execution that can withstand the power of the whirlwind. Authors Sean, Chris, and Jim have identified 4 disciplines that make up a system of execution that can help you reliably execute no matter how chaotic the whirlwind gets around you. Discipline number 1. Focus on your wig. At any given moment at a major airport, there are planes taxiing around the airport, there are planes taking off, and there are planes coming to the airport that need to land soon. If you were an air traffic controller, you would need to manage all those planes, and each passenger in those planes would tell you that their plane is the most important plane. But even though each of those planes is important and urgent to those people, only one plane is wildly important to you right now. And that's the plane that's coming in to land right now. Focusing on and landing this one plane successfully makes all other planes seem secondary. You need to start approaching work like this air traffic controller, keeping all your urgent and merely important goals on your radar and doing the minimum you can to prevent them from crashing or getting out of control, and then using all your remaining energy to successfully execute and land your wildly important goal, your wig. To find this wildly important goal, just ask yourself, if everything else remained at its current level of performance, what one achievement would make everything else seem secondary? Once you have a good idea of what you think that achievement might be, frame it in the following format: from X to Y by Z. As in, my wildly important goal is to raise my monthly sales revenue from $6,000 to $12,000 a month by December 31st. Discipline number 2, measure lead behaviors. Let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds, so you go on a diet. During the first 2 weeks, you step on the scale every day to see if your weight has changed, but day after day, the scale hardly moves. How likely are you to stick to your diet? If a metric that you're measuring isn't changing, like weight in this case, your execution will suffer. The problem is most results that we want to change, like losing weight, increasing revenue, or growing the number of subscribers, all has a lag effect. There's a considerable amount of lag time between the actions we take and the results we want to see. During that lag time, if you only measure your lag result, a metric that will hardly change in the short term, regardless of how much action you take, you'll quickly lose focus on your wildly important goal and stop executing. Without any signs of improvement, our execution will suffer. Therefore, we need to measure something that we can influence and improve every day or every week. What we need to measure are lead behaviors. Lead behaviors are those critical day-to-day activities that ultimately lead to our desired result. If you had a blog and you wanted to get more subscribers, you shouldn't just measure the increase in subscribers each week. You should measure the number of words you write each day and the number of articles that you post each week. If you're a salesperson, you shouldn't just measure the number of sales you're getting each week. You should also measure the number of daily prospect calls you're making and the number of follow-up emails you're delivering. These lead behavior measurements are something that you can increase every day. And when you increase these metrics every day, you increase your engagement and execution. And when you focus on proven and validated lead behaviors, achieving your lag result will simply be a matter of time. Discipline number 3, put up a scoreboard. Let's say you get together with friends on Saturday and go play soccer in the park. You make teams, you set up the nets, and then you start the game. But 30 minutes into that game, some of your friends are losing interest because no one remembered to keep score. But what if everyone on your team knew they were down by 1 goal with 5 minutes left to play? Do you think they would still be disengaged and walking off the field? The authors say people play differently when they know the score. It doesn't matter if you're playing soccer or executing a work project. Knowing the score generates a will to win, and the will to win fuels execution. If we aren't frequently reminded of the score, our will to win will fade, our execution will suffer, and the whirlwind will consume all of our attention. The best way to be reminded of the score is to put up a scoreboard in your office that is simple and easy to see. You should be able to look at this scoreboard and know if you're winning or losing in 5 seconds or less. It should only include 3 things: your WIG, your leg measurements, and your lead measurements. If your WIG was increased monthly sales revenue from $6,000 to $12,000 by December 31st, then your leg measurement would be sales, and your lead measurement would be number of calls or hours spent making Facebook marketing videos. If you're increasing your lead measurement day after day or week after week, then you feel like you're winning. And once you see a lead measurement corresponding to an increase in a leg measurement, then you verify that you're winning and your execution and commitment goes through the roof. Discipline number 4, schedule weekly accountability talks. Have you ever been on a project team at school or at work where you need to verbally report on your status and make commitments each week? I have. And it's amazing how much more action I take when I know my teammates will hold me accountable to what I say. As a project manager at an engineering firm, I needed to sit around a table every Monday morning and remind my peers of what I said I would do, what I did, and what I plan to do this week to hit my next project milestone. It was a powerful routine of accountability. I didn't always like it, but it was amazing how much my execution increased before and after each meeting. In the book, the authors promote the practice of regular face-to-face meetings with your peers or teammates where you state your goals instead of your boss or your teammates telling you what your goals are. When you verbally commit to your own goals in front of your peers or teammates who will support you but hold you accountable, you have a strong desire to honor your word and protect your reputation. These are powerful motivators that cause you to focus on your wildly important goal and prevent yourself from being consumed by the whirlwind. By implementing these 4 disciplines into your work week, you can get yourself and your team to reliably execute your greatest ideas and your wildly important goals, no matter how chaotic the whirlwind of your day-to-day responsibilities might be. That was the core message that I gathered from the 4 disciplines of execution. If you're finding it hard to execute important goals, I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a productive week.